Hey everybody, welcome to HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com, and here on my YouTube channel. And you may be asking, what are you doing sitting outside, Dave? I'm hanging out outside. It's a beautiful day here in the East Coast. It is July 11th, Thursday, probably around 80 degrees outside, and I am hanging out here waiting for a delivery from FedEx Freight. And I'm going to try to get some footage of this once FedEx shows up. They should be here very shortly, but we have a whole skid of new gear coming in. I want to tell you a little bit about it. So about 2 years ago, I think it's about 2 years ago, I did a Made Easy series called Recording Drums Made Easy. A lot of you have that course, where in my home studio we recorded an acoustic drum kit with very inexpensive microphones, interfaces, all gear that was affordable for the home recording musician, and showing you how you can get really professional sounding acoustic drums in the home studio environment. And that series did very, very well. And I appreciate all of you that have picked it up. If you have not heard about Recording Drums Made Easy, it'll be in the description box below. But since that time, over the last couple of years, I've gotten lots of emails and people asking me questions throughout the years about electronic drums. And some guys and gals have electronic drums in their studio. They're not really sure what's the best way to record them, or the different types of ways you could record them, and have asked me for my input. Problem is, and I've always said, I don't have an electronic drum kit. I know in theory how it's done, but I don't have a specific make and model that I could really help. But more and more over the last year especially, as electronic drums have become more affordable, and more importantly, as they've become better sounding and more realistic to what an acoustic drum kit sounds like, they're just becoming much more practical for the home studio environment. Whether you're a drummer or a producer and an engineer and you want to have a drum kit in your studio, it's not always easy to have an acoustic drum kit for many reasons, right? The volume being the biggest reason, not having the right space or environment with the big ceilings to get that big sound, although you could do some of that and you can add some of that in post-production. And it's also can be quite expensive in a way if you want to have all the microphones, all the cables, have a preamp or interface that has enough preamps on it to be able to get all those microphones into your DAW. And so electronic drums are becoming much more practical, and again, they're becoming more affordable, although they are still more expensive than the acoustic drums, and we'll talk about that in a later video. But the sounds especially are just becoming so much better than what they used to be. So I've been deciding for the last, here comes FedEx I think now. If they come, I will try to get some footage. No, false alarm, just a construction truck. So anyway, over the last year or so, I've got more and more people asking me about it. So I decided, at one point I'd like to do in a Made Easy series on recording electronic drums. But as I said, I don't have an electronic drum kit. But I've been working with my my partners and my great friends and folks over at Sweetwater.com. I'm a big proponent of Sweetwater. I mention them all the time. If you ever need any gear for your studios, for home recording, or if you're a musician, they have everything in the world. I know most of you know about Sweetwater. Sweetwater's fantastic. The sales engineers are so knowledgeable. They stand behind their product. It's the best service in the business, hands down. Anyway, I was able to acquire, for a few months, a really great electronic drum kit of a demo that they had at the Sweetwater store in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I'm going to be able to get it and have it for a couple of months to where we can do an entire Made Easy series on recording electronic drums, and then also I'm going to create some YouTube content for that as well. So I'm waiting for that drum kit to show up, and when it shows up, if I happen to have the camera on me, I'll try to get some video footage of them getting it off the truck, and then we're going to do an unboxing. We're going to talk about the drum kit. We're going to show the setup. We're going to do all that over a bunch of videos. But I'm thinking that what we're going to do is I'm going to show you several different ways that not only that you can record an electronic drum kit. We're going to use the onboard module that comes with the drum kit. We're going to use different software VSTs like Superior Drummer, Easy Drummer, Slate, Stephen Slate Drums, SSD4, maybe even SSD5 if I can get a hold of a copy. And then I'm also going to work with Sweetwater to possibly show you a couple of different of the more popular drum modules that are out there, because what's great about electronic drums is once you have the pads, the triggers, the drums themselves, you can virtually use any module or most modules with those drums. So for example, if you have a Roland drum kit, you don't have to use a Roland module necessarily, although they make great ones. You can use other brands. And there's several of them, and I'm obviously not going to be able to show you every single one and every little tiny facet of every module, but I'm going to give you a nice cross-section, hopefully, of a few of the main players in the electronic drum world, and we'll do, you know, maybe something a little bit more affordable, a little bit more on the top end as far as price goes, and try to show you what the different sounds are and what the different feature set would be. So we're going to do a whole bunch of videos on electronic drums, and it's going to be a lot of fun for me because I'm not a drummer, but I can't play drums. I'm a guitar player, but I can't play drums. I can play enough to do a lot of demonstration, and then what we'll do is we're going to just create a bunch of content. So below in the description box, let me know if there's anything specific that you'd like to see as far as recording electronic drums. Again, I'm going to try to lay out a whole bunch of videos for YouTube, and then ultimately going to create recording electronic drums made easy. It'll be a perfect partner package or partner product with recording the acoustic drums made easy. And again, if you don't have that course, check it out below. That's really cool. And then we'll also at one point mix the drums that we record from the electronic drum kit as well, so we can show you how to record them, how to mix them, and just the whole kit and caboodle. So that's what I'm doing out here. I'm sitting out here waiting for the FedEx freight to show up because I don't want to miss them. It's probably going to be a skid, I would think, at least worth the boxes, and I'm going to have to haul them up my front stairs into the house, down into the studio, unbox it, and get everything set up. And so when I get to that point, I'll get a bunch of footage and edit it all together and show you why I got and why, and then we'll embark on this journey together. So for the next month or so at Home Recording Made Easy, it's going to be all about electronic drums. I hope you like it, and by the time you see the next little clip here, hopefully the drums will be here. I'll see you shortly. Okay, so here it is. FedEx dropped off the skid. Pushing it up the driveway. The guy was so nice to actually get it off the truck and get up the driveway. They normally just leave it at the bottom of the street, so I'm very thankful for that. So here we go. I'll turn the camera around. So here we go. So we got a full pallet from Sweetwater of our electronic drums. Then now I have to unload one box at a time. And some accessories like a hi-hat stand, kick pedal, because it doesn't come with a kick pedal and a hi-hat stand. Sweetwater really hooked me up. I'm really, really excited about this. So now I'm going to start getting all of this unboxed, opened up, brought into the studio, everything brought downstairs. And once I get into the studio and get everything kind of laid out on the floor, we'll talk a little bit more about what we have here. I'm going to get rid of some of the cardboard, and I'll be back shortly, so I'll see you in a few. You know, the one thing I'll say, which really impressed me a lot, is the hardware that comes with this drum kit. All these stands that come with this kit, this is an ATV kit, by the way, we'll talk about this more in a bit. I mean, real heavy duty. You know, all double brace stands, real heavy duty hardware, you know, on the quality of, say, Gibraltar DW, you know, really big, sturdy rubber feet. I mean, usually when you buy a drum kit, especially an electronic drum kit, unless you start spending, you know, Roland $8,000, $9,000 drum kits, a lot of times you get kind of chintzy hardware. This, you get really top quality hardware, it feels like. So I'm really impressed with that thus far. Again, we'll get up a little, we'll look at this a little more closely later, but I figured I would just mention that. Real nice, and it came with a hi-hat stand, or excuse me, snare stand, 2 3-cymbal stands, all the mounts, tom mounts, and everything is real good quality, so it's good to know. Okay, that's it. So everything's unpacked, brought down into the studio, scattered all over the floor. I'm dying here. A lot of boxes I got to try to store and or get rid of. Probably store in case I decide to sell this kit at one point, or I got to really give it back to Sweetwater probably in 3 or 4 months. Although you've already told me I can have it at an amazing deal. So we'll see, we'll see. But anyway, very, very cool. We'll cut down to the studio soon. I'll take you through the drum kit and we'll start the whole next process. So thanks for joining me for this hot and sweaty unboxing. Okay, everybody, welcome. So we're back in the studio now. We're on day 2. Yesterday was just a complete backup of schedule, and I wasn't able to shoot this yesterday, but I wanted to get this all set up last night in an effort to save time and save you guys some time in this video. So as you can see, we got the whole drum set now set up. Again, this is the ATV A-Drums drum set, which I got from Sweetwater. My good friends over at Sweetwater loaning me this kit for a while, and I'll throw some images up on the screen so you can get a little bit closer look. Now, what I really like about this drum kit is that, as you can probably see, the drum kit today, or these drum kits today, they look like a real acoustic kit. They're using real acoustic shells. All the shells are made out of birch. They're not made out of metal or plastic, and they have the mesh heads on them, similar to the Roland pads. So just to kind of give you a walkthrough of what we're kind of dealing with here. So over here on my left, we have the drum module here. This is the AD5. This is the one that comes included with the kit. Now, it only has 5 kit presets, but from what I understand and some of the demos I've seen online, it sounds really great. So I'll be interested to show you guys how that kind of sounds. And then over here, we have our hi-hats. We have a set of 14-inch hi-hats on a DW hi-hat stand, which was not included with the kit. It was something I had to buy extra. We have up here a 16-inch crash. We have another 16-inch crash over here, and then we have an 18-inch ride cymbal, which is really, really great. Now, the great thing about these ATV cymbals is there's no hot spots. They're 360-degree triggering, so no matter where you hit the crash, it performs apparently like a real crash cymbal. We'll check those out in a future video, as I said. For our snare here, we have a 13-inch snare. We also have a 13-inch floor tom, so the surface is 13 inches, and we have 2 10-inch rack toms. So the rack toms and the snare and the floor tom are a little bit undersized to a typical drum kit. Usually, I believe a snare is usually 14 inches, but I mean, it's very, very similar. And same thing with the floor tom. Typically, the floor tom will be 16 inches or 18 inches. This is a 13-inch, but again, because it's electronic, the module will dictate how that is going to sound, and we'll be really interested to hear about that. And the same thing with the toms. Typically, you have 10s or 12s. These are 10-inch toms. Again, in the module, they can set for different tom depths and sizes. So, oh, and last but not least, we have an 18-inch kick drum, which again is kind of small. It's more like a jazz kit, like a small kick drum. You know, usually rock, pop, type drum kits are usually 20 to 22-inch kick drums. It's a little bit smaller, but what I like about this is that it fits perfectly in this little cove area here that I have cut out in the studio. I was a little worried it wasn't going to fit. So it's very compact, and actually I have plenty of room to spread things out just the way I like them. So it actually worked out perfectly for me. So again, very practical for an acoustic size, for the most part, kit, as opposed to the little tiny rubber pads that maybe we've seen in some of the more less expensive kits it looks and performs and feels like a real acoustic drum kit. So that's really, really cool. So here is the setup, and what we're going to do in the next series of videos is we're going to go through, again, how you record off the module here, the AD5 that comes with it, and then also we're going to look at how we record with the VST, like EZ-Drummer, Superior Drummer, Stephen Slate drums. I don't have all the VSTs, but I have a few of them to give you kind of an idea and see what the differences in sounds are and how you kind of set that up. And then how we can record that directly into our DAW Studio One, or how we can just use it as, again, a VST to kind of trigger the sounds inside of Studio One. And then lastly, I'm going to try to get a hold of a few different drum modules that you can use with this, because these pads and cymbals are compatible with any of the Roland drum modules, as well as the Pro Mimic, which is supposed to be really, really cool, as well as the Alesis Strike. And there's others, but there's about 4 or 5 more popular drum modules, and I'm going to try to get a hold of a few of them so we can kind of see the difference and how these things sound and the different feature set and how you can record. So I'm real interested to hear what you guys want to know and want me to cover as far as recording electronic drums go. Again, some of this content will be on YouTube. Ultimately, I'm going to package it all together over the next few months for a Made Easy course, which will be recording electronic drums made easy. Now, if you don't have the first recording drum series, recording acoustic drums made easy, go ahead and click the link in the description box, and I show you an entire 4 or 5 hour series on how to record acoustic drums in the home studio environment. This time we're going to take a look at electric drums for the next couple of months. So I'm super excited to get behind and play a drum kit. And again, it's really, really cool that they're acoustic style drums. And again, from what I hear, they sound amazing. And the demos I've heard online sound amazing. So I will throw up a few images right over my shoulder here so you could kind of see this kit up close and personal. I got some really nice high resolution photos right from the Sweetwater website. So you can just kind of see the outline here, and you can see some of the detail in the photos that should be coming up right now. So again, leave comments below. Let me know what you want to learn as far as recording the electronic drums go. Any questions that you might have, I'll try to cover as many as I possibly can. And then be on the lookout for recording electric drums made easy. So thanks so much for watching this video, and my little unboxing and my setup here was real easy to set up, super simple to set up. Cables plug right in, everything was labeled. It took literally 20 minutes to set up the kit, tweak it in, and get all the cables kind of routed out of the way so we don't have a big slop of cables all over the place. And so it's real super to set up. And so if you're someone who has an electronic drum kit, stay tuned. You're going to dig the next set of videos, and of course the Made Easy series. And if you're someone who doesn't have electronic drums and you've been thinking about getting electronic drums, you can do a bunch of YouTube research as well. And also you can check out the videos I'm going to be laying out here to see what might be good for your personal situation. So again, thank you so much for joining me on this kind of electronic drums unboxing and setup, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.